Okay, today we will be learning about one of the most important parasitic disease, that is toxoplasmosis. You might have heard about this parasite in the test TORCH, TORCH, in which T stands for toxoplasmosis, and rest of the viruses and bacteria we have already discussed. So today we will be discussing one of the important pathogen from the TORCH test, that is toxoplasmosis, and it is the risk in the pregnancy. That's why it is very essential to perform the TORCH test if a lady is pregnant. What is toxoplasmosis? It is an infection caused by the parasite Toxoplasma gondii. So this is the causative agent, which is Toxoplasma gondii. It is a protozoan and a coccidian, which is obligate intracellular parasites responsible for zoonotic infections in man and other mammals. So one of the example of zoonotic disease is the toxoplasmosis. So you can remember this as one of the zoonotic infections in man. All coccidian have a sexual sporogonic phase and a sexual schizogonic phase. These are the two phases through which toxoplasmosis go through. And this is one of the opportunistic infection in the HIV positive patient. So they are also associated with the HIV infection. Now coming to the morphology of Toxoplasma gondii, it occurs in three forms basically: tropozoite and tissue cyst, which represents the schizogony, the stage in the asexual multiplication, and oocyst, which is third form, formed by sexual reproduction, that is the gametogony. So Toxoplasma gondii occurs in three forms: tropozoite, cyst and oocyst. Tropozoite and tissues are referred as asexual you get it in the asexual multiplication, that is also called as schizogony, and the oocyst is by sexual reproduction, which is called as gametogony. So all these three forms occurs in cats, which are definitive hosts. So you have to remember this: the cat is the main definitive host for the toxoplasmosis disease, and only asexual forms occurs in the humans. All three forms are infectious to humans. So all three forms are infectious to humans. Now we will come to know about the life cycle of toxoplasmosis. The life cycle includes two phases, which are called as intestinal and extraintestinal. The intestinal occurs in cats only and produces oocysts. This is very important, and these oocysts are important for infection to the humans. Extraintestinal occurs in all infected animals and produces taxoids and eventually bradyzoids. So these are the two phases where you will see in the extraintestinal phase. Now what is the oocyst? Oocysts, only members of the cat family share oocyst. So you can see here in the picture the oocyst of the Toxoplasma gondii. How tropozoite looks like, you can see in this picture, in this slide. Tachyzoids are the actively proliferating tropozoites which are observed during the acute stage of infection. So this is important. Tissue cysts are found most commonly in the brain and in the skeletal and cardiac muscles, but can occur in any organ. So which is the reservoir organ in the host? It is the brain and skeletal as well as cardiac muscles. But sometimes it occurs in other organs too. Now what are the signs and symptoms of toxoplasmosis? It starts with the fever, then sore throat, sore muscles, tiredness, there are swollen glands, and sometimes patients might feel temporary blurred vision, or it could be the loss of visions. So these were the signs and symptoms. Now how do you diagnose the toxoplasmosis? The toxoplasmosis is diagnosed by various methods in the laboratory. First and foremost is the serological test. When I say serological test, it means that we generally demonstrate antibodies against that particular disease. I was referring in the first slide itself about the TORCH test. In the TORCH test, we generally detect the immunoglobulins against those individual diseases, and one among them is the toxoplasmosis. So serological tests are very useful in diagnosis of these diseases, especially toxoplasmosis. Further, the molecular techniques, which includes the polymerase chain reaction, also helps in detecting these agents from the tissues of the infected host. You can also demonstrate histologically the parasites and its antigens by immunoperoxidase staining method. You can also isolate the organisms in some artificial medium. Now the treatment about the toxoplasmosis include: the treatment should be developed in consultation with the obstetrician and infectious disease specialist. This is very important. Combination of anti-toxoplasmosis medication plus lurovorin is used, and sometimes the patient is also essentially needs his hospitalization. Toxoplasmosis can be prevented. Of course, we have seen the treatment part, but we can also prevent the disease. Whenever we are doing some work in the environment, like in the soil, you must always wear gloves while handling the soil, because the cat shed these oocysts in the soil, and if we come in contact with the infected soil, probably the human will get the infections. This is very important. Wash hands with soap and water after outdoor activities, which will take care of removing whatever dirt which is attached to your hands will get rid of. When preparing the raw meat, wash any cutting boards, sinks, knives and other utensils that touch the raw meat thoroughly with soap and hot water to avoid contaminating other foods. This is very important. Okay, and then whenever you are cooking the meat, it should be thoroughly cooked. So this is about the prevention. Keep cats indoors and feed them dry or canned food rather than allowing them to have access to wild birds and rodents. So this is very, very important. Those people who are having cats as a pet animal must take care of the precautions associated with this disease. Clean litter box every day, because the parasite found in cat feces needs 1 or more days after it is passed to become infectious. This is very important. And then thoroughly wash hands after cleaning the litter box.
Excuse me.